All right, welcome to FitEssentials. Here's our disclaimer, and then we'll get started. You're about to engage in intense physical activity. Proceed with caution. Do not attempt to perform any movements or activity that exceed your current physical capabilities. Participants with injuries, high blood pressure, chronic health conditions, recent chest pain, or that have any other condition that may limit their ability to participate in this activity should consult their physician before proceeding. Tongue-tied today. All right, everybody. We're having some good clear skies wherever you are. I know there's lots of places with fires right now, so putting our thoughts out to those people. All right, go ahead and come to your feet. Feet just outside the hips, slight bend in the knees. Hands in front of the chest. We're gonna take some nice deep breaths to start. We'll go 3 breaths. About 4 seconds in, go ahead and join me. We're gonna reach up high overhead. Breathing in nice and deep. 4 seconds, and then go ahead and let the arms relax down to the side as you let all the air out. Good, twice more. Feel free to close the eyes, just feel your body fill with air as you breathe in. And let it all relax. Last one. Breathe and reach. Exhale and relax. Very good. Go ahead and give a little bit more bend in the knees. Arms are heavy at the sides. We're going to move into our gates of heaven. Starting to move through the hips. Let the arms swing into the body. Good. Time it with your breathing. Hi, Shirley. Nice to see you. Good. Let's go 10 more seconds here. Very nice. Hand on the hip. We're going to go into a side stretch. Let the hips swing to the side slightly. Reaching up, peering up to the hand. Take 1 breath at the top and then come out of it and switch sides. Hand on the opposite hip. Gently let the hip shift to the side as you reach up, peer up, breathe, and relax. Very good. Once more each side. See if you can reach just a little bit farther, second time. Good, and switch when you're ready. Very nice. Nice long reach, and let it go. Very good. We're gonna go ahead and stand in kind of like a stagger stance. Let's have your right foot forward, left foot back, and then take your left hand. You're gonna make nice big sweeping circles, turning the palm away from your body, and then towards the body at the leg. As you come up overhead, turn it away. Try to reach long, just opening through that chest. We'll go about 5 on each side. So here's number 3. And 4. And last one. Very good. Walk the feet in. Let's go some hip circles next. Hands on the hips. Go ahead and circle the hips around. Good, and switch directions when you're ready. Nice and smooth. Very good. Then we're gonna switch sides. Step your left forward, your right back. Same idea here. Nice big sweeping circles, opening through the shoulder and all through the side of the body. Palm towards you at the bottom half of the circle, and then as you come up overhead, start to turn it away. Connect with your breath as you move. Breathe in as you reach up. And exhale as you circle down. Good. About 2 more. And last one. Very good. Come back to center. Feet a little bit wider than the hips. We're going to bring the arms out to the side, moving into some windmills. So slight bend in the knees, hinging at the hips, reach towards your opposite leg. You can start about knee height and then just look to go a little bit farther each time until you find that spot that you're like, all right, that feels about right, and then stand from there. Good job. Focus to engage those glutes as you stand tall, shoulder blades back and down. Nice. Let's get 1 more each side. Very good. We're going to be working on a little bit of balance next. If you want to balance on a chair or stand near the wall, we're going to start on your right side, taking the arm up in the air and we're gonna bring the elbow towards the same side knee. So if you're good without the support, you can put the opposite hand on the hip, or feel free to use it for balance. Reach tall and long, down and in. Good job. Get a few more here. You really want to pay attention to that support leg to hold strong through the hip, lifting up through the core so that hip doesn't kick out. Let's get about one more. Very nice. Hands on the hips. Let's kind of just rock the hips side to side now. Just a little give in the knees. Excellent. There you go. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the opposite side. Standing tall, reaching up, elbow towards the same side knee. Reach long, down and in. Good. Go about 30 seconds, about 10 reps, anywhere in there. Remember to pulling up nice and tall through the core. You want to like you're trying to stretch your head towards the ceiling. Fantastic. Good, a few more. And if you can't quite get that knee and elbow together, not a problem. Just come as close as you're comfortable and rest. Fantastic. All right, next we're gonna go feet come a little bit closer. So about just underneath the hips, chin towards your chest, and then staying engaged in your legs and core. You're gonna start to slide the hands down the legs. Kind of waking up the back side of the body. Then when you get to that bottom position, if you feel okay to hang out there for one breath, breathing in the back of your rib cage. And then when you're ready, start to reverse it. Tuck the hips under. Start to make your way all the way up. Very good. If you want, you can reach up to overhead once more, engage the glutes, and just try to look for the ceiling or sky above and behind you. Very good. And then we're going to do that one more time. So chin towards the chest. Take your time. This will be about the only time that we kind of talk about rounding the back, but you're just kind of using this to wake up the spine a little bit, those different segments. One big breath into the back of the rib cage in the bottom, and then we'll start to tuck the hips under and make the way up. Very good. This time, instead of arching back, let's go hands overhead, or you can go on your shoulders as well, and you'll rock side to side. There you go. Side to side, and then we'll do a couple rotations. Not force anything, just kind of look over the shoulders, rotate side to side. Fantastic. All right. That knee to elbow that we did to begin with, now we're going to do that same idea, but going to alternating opposite knee to opposite elbow. So we're going to go about 45 seconds here. Get the right side to meet the left side, or as close as you can, left to meet the right. Good for our brain health. Keep one side talking to the other, that cross crawl pattern. Very nice. Just make a point to have yourself set well before you move into that opposite side. Continue to lift up through the core. Very good. Beautiful. Let's go about another 20 seconds here. Breathing and moving. Very nice. All right, once more each side. And bring it down, shake it out. Very good. All right, so our first piece today, you can either come down on the floor, I'll show it there first, or we'll be elevated. We're gonna be doing like our quadruped or like a bird dog. We're gonna stretch long and then bring the elbow towards the knee under the body. I encourage you to hold those in position. So 2 to 5 seconds here, 2 to 5 seconds here. So either on the floor, or you can use a bench or a chair, and you can do either just the leg towards the same side elbow, or if you feel sturdy to include the opposite arm, then it would be similar to what they're doing down on the floor with the opposite arm. Okay? We're gonna be working for 45 seconds on one side, then we're gonna do a couple rotations for the mid-back, and we'll switch sides, do the same thing on the opposite side. We're gonna do it twice on each side. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and demo the first one elevated, and then I'll take it to the floor for the second round. All right, let's grab a quick drink, and then we'll go here in 10 seconds. So if you are gonna get on the floor, go ahead and get in position. I guess I shouldn't tell you to get a drink and then get into position. I'll give you a little extra time. We're gonna go here in another 15 seconds. If you're waiting to start and you're standing or seated, you can go behind the back. And we're gonna start with our right arm and left leg, or if you're only doing the leg, just focus on that left leg. All right, go ahead and get in position. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and begin. You can go just the leg or add the arm, looking to hold between 2 and 5 seconds at each position. And our focus here is not to let that low back arch, keeping the hips and shoulders square. Especially if you're on that single arm support, you want to really lift up through that shoulder, holding strong. Engage that glute as you reach long. Almost there. In and hold. Extend and engage. Do it about one more. 2, 1, and rest. Good. So if you're on the floor, you can stay down there. You're gonna do the rotations. We're gonna go hand behind the head, elbow towards the opposite elbow, rotate and look up towards the ceiling. If it bothers you to bend over at all, you could also do this seated. So if you wanna give that hinging position a break, you can also go here. Let's go 5 on the right. We're just gonna do the right side, and then we're gonna switch to the left arm and right leg, and then we'll do the left side. All right, folks, switch sides. And 2, 1, and here we go. So it's gonna be left arm, right leg, in and together, extend and engage. And remember, you can totally keep the support on both arms. It feels a little bit much to be on one. Elevated or down on the ground. Holding that belly button in, holding your pelvis square so you don't arch the back. Getting those glutes to fire. Good job. 15 seconds left. Continue to breathe and focus. Very nice. 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Come up out of it for a second. Either stay down or come seated. Now on the left arm, 5 rotations. Elbow towards the opposite elbow or thigh. Lifting up, peering over that shoulder. In and rotate. Or seated if it feels better. Good. All right, after 5, take a short break and we'll get started in round 2 here in 10 seconds. So you're welcome to stay elevated, or I'm gonna join the crew on the floor. All right, so we're going back to left leg, right arm. 2, 1, and here we go. Stretch it long. Good focus. Holding 2 to 5 seconds each position. Breathing. When you extend that leg back, it's like you want to try to think about reaching your foot to the wall behind you. Continue to lift up through the shoulders. Nice job, everybody. 10 seconds left. Two, 1, and rest. Good job. We're going to go rotations on the right. You can stay down here. If you want to do it seated, I'll show you there. So you're just simply going to go hand to the opposite leg and rotate, looking over that shoulder. 5 rotations. Nice work. Very good. After you finish those 5, we've got one more set of these knee to elbow exercises, and then we'll be all done with this first circuit. All right, go ahead and come into position. So now we're on left arm and right leg. 2, 1, and here we go. Extend out. Pausing in the in positions. And as the leg extends back as well, try to have the toes pointing down towards the floor and not winging out. Continue to watch to avoid any arch in the back. Doing great. 15 seconds left. Breathe and lengthen. Good, strong positions. 2, 1, and rest there. Good job. And just rotations on that left arm. So either seated or in this bend over position, elbow to elbow. Rotate, try to peer over that shoulder. 5 here. Exhale as you open. Inhale to close. Very good. All right, nice work. Let's go ahead and stretch out the neck a little bit or just get some mobility there. So we're gonna go chin towards the chest. Hands over the collarbones, give a little like downward tissue pull, and then gently look up towards the ceiling. And go twice more, chin towards the chest. On this one, if you want, you can gently put the hands on top of your head and just very gently, like fingertips, give a little overpressure, feel the back of the neck, get a little stretch. And then again, hands over the collarbones, peer up. And one more cycle, chin towards the chest, sitting nice and tall. And cross the hands over, look up. Well done. And then we're going to give a little bit rotation as well. So we're going to look over the shoulder, 2 fingers up on the cheekbone. Encourage that rotation, holding for about 5 seconds. And then we'll come back to center and switch. Look over the opposite shoulder. 3 times each side. Good. Switch when you're ready. And as you're looking over the shoulder, you can kind of notice what's happening to the opposite shoulder. Like pull it back and down a little bit, make sure it's not rounded forward. And just get a little bit more out of that opening position. Very good. And then just kind of rock the head side to side, ear towards the shoulders. Very good. And on this one, if you want to give a little overpressure here, excuse me, instead of just kind of hanging on your neck here, instead I like to think about sitting tall, pull that chin in, and then try to bring your chin towards the opposite collarbone. And now we'll give a little overpressure there. So it's not directly on the side of the neck, but more towards the back and the side. Your traps and all those muscles come up and they attach along the side of the spine there. So a lot of times we'll hold tension. So we'll switch sides now, chin in. Really exaggerate how tall can you sit. Bring that chin towards your opposite collarbone, and then you can give a little overpressure here. Fantastic. Once more each side. If you want to add, you can also sit on the palm up, kind of trap that hand down, and then same idea, chin to the opposite collarbone, and then you'll feel just a little bit more of a stretch when you pull that shoulder blade back and down. Again, be delicate with these. Good job. And then we'll switch sides. Again, palm up if you'd like to add the hand, shoulder blade back and down, chin towards that opposite side. Very gentle. Our neck has a lot of delicate structures in it, so you want to treat it nicely. Very good. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and wake up those shoulders just a little bit more. We'll roll them up and back. Fantastic. And then say hello to your elbows. Twist them around, rotate them around. There you go. And reverse directions. Nice. All right, very good. So if you were gonna just do a little bit of twist for the low back, if you wanna lie down, you can, or join me, I'm gonna show it seated, and then we'll get into our next circuit. All right, so sitting, if you choose, on the edge of the chair, you can keep the legs flat, or you can cross the leg over. You're gonna use your hand on the opposite thigh to kind of help pull you into a little bit of a rotation. Same side hand to the same side shoulder. And now we're gonna go shoulder rolls about 10 times, like you're trying to trace a nice grapefruit. I'm in peach country now. Maybe it can be like a nice big peach that we're drawing a circle around that. Just getting some rotation through the spine. Very good. After about 10, we'll go ahead and switch sides. So again, you're welcome to keep the feet flat if that feels better, or the side you're stretching towards, you'll twist that, pulling yourself into it. Hand to that same side shoulder. Peer over that shoulder and rotate that elbow around. Moving through the shoulder about 10 times. Continue to sit tall and twist into it as you're rotating. And 10. Fantastic. All right, everybody. If you'd like, go ahead and go into your behind the back stretch, interlace the hands, or you can grab onto a band. And we'll start to get set up for our first circuit. We have 3 exercises. The first one, you have options. It's a sumo deadlift. You can keep it at that, or you can add the high pull. All right, so if you're able to confidently touch your toes, you can come all the way to the ground. If it's tough to touch the toes, recommend just come to about mid-shin, okay? And you'll be switching hands, okay? If you want to do the high pull, then you would drive the hips, and the elbow comes above the shoulders. Okay? Switch hands, drive through the hips, elbow comes up, okay? So either simply standing straight up, or that high pull position. So completely up to you. We're gonna alternate arms. We'll be working for 40 seconds. We'll take a 20-second break. Then we're gonna do just a 20-second quick one. You can either do the band pull aparts, or you can lie down on the floor for our lying flies. Look something like this. Reaching the arms up, squeezing the back side of the body. All right. If you don't have bands, you don't wanna get on the ground, you can mimic that band pull apart. It's gonna engage very similar muscles, all right? And then we'll either go on the floor for your tuck-ups, or I'll show them seated on the first round. These guys, all right, if those are fairly easy for you, you can do a leg lowering abs with the legs straight and lowering them down as long as you can keep that back flat. If it starts to arch, you want to come up from there, okay? Or the more basic version would be these tuck-ups. And we'll do those for 40 seconds, okay? If you can't get on the ground, don't worry. We're going to show the tuck-ups from the seated position on round 1. So just join me there then. All right, let me know if there's any questions. Otherwise, we'll start that first set here in about 20 seconds. Starting with the deadlift or the high pull, your choice. I'll demo the deadlift on the first round. Going in 10. So wide base stance, feet just outside the hips, stand tall through the spine, and here we go. Hinging at the hips, engage the glutes and stand. And we're switching arms, so you can switch on the ground or mid-shin. Stay strong in the core, squeeze the glutes at the top. Very good. Halfway through, like I said, we're working for 40 seconds. Hinging over, standing tall. There's 30. Very good. Over and rest. Awesome. Lying flies or pull aparts next. I'll show the pull aparts. Remember, you can do these standing without the band if you don't have it. And this one's just going to be 20 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Shoulder blades back and down, opening through the chest. Those of you that are doing the lying flies, palms up towards the sky. Squeeze the back. You can also engage those glutes. Very good, everybody. in and open and rest. Fantastic. If you're on the floor, just stay there and roll over. We're doing our abs next, or you can do it seated. On the seated position, you can go one leg at a time, pulling the knee up towards the chest, or we can go both legs together. And we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Begin when you're ready. One leg or two. We're focused on that position of our spine, really watching to not let that low back arch. Nice job. Halfway, that's 20 seconds. This really isolates our lower abdominals, oftentimes using our hip flexors here a bit as well. Breathing. Good job. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. We'll have about just over a minute rest here. Go ahead and make your way to your feet. Got a nice, quiet, still day here in Colorado. All right, once you stand up, we're gonna open up those hip flexors just a little bit. So stand with your left foot back, right foot forward, and hands crossed over the shoulders. And now we're gonna hinge the hip forward and you're gonna rotate towards your lead leg. Engaging the glute on that back leg. Just a little forward shift of those hips. After about 5 rotations, go ahead and switch sides. Opposite leg forward, and same thing on the other side. Rotating across, back to center. This is a really simple one that you can do if you're on a road trip and you get out of the car for some gas or something. You just kind of stand in a stagger stance. Arms up overhead is great for it as well to open up those hip flexors. All right, nice job, everybody. We're going to go into round 2 next. You can stay with those sumo deadlifts or move into the high pull. Totally up to you. I'm going to continue to demo that deadlift. Remember, if you do the high pull, it's just elbow high above the shoulder. All right, let's go in 10. Alternating arms, working for 40. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Long in the spine, hinging at the hips. Breathe. Good, good elbow position, Jean, that looks nice. There you go, good ladies. Nice job, 10 seconds left. Really push through your feet into the ground as you stand. Get the back side of the body to fire. 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Pull aparts are next. I've been playing around with trying to get some music to work and still be able to hear me at the same time. Maybe we'll get it one of these days. All right, sit tall or lie flat. 2, 1, here we go. Lying flies or pull aparts. Squeeze those lower shoulder blades together. Open through the chest. Good breathing. 2, 1, and rest. Good. Short one there. If you're on the floor, roll to your back or come into the seated chair position. Tuck ups next. We'll demo one more from the chair, and we can go single leg or alternating legs. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Focus on that position of the lower spine, pushing that low back strong into the floor. Like when we're seated here, I just really watch that I don't start to arch. So kind of pulling that belly button in towards your spine. Bracing through the core. Halfway. Nice job, almost there. Continue to focus. And 2, 1, and rest. Nice work. That's the end of 2. We're gonna do that circuit one more time through. Whenever you make your way up this round, if you grab a drink, we're gonna just do a little stretch for the inner thighs. So you can support on the chair if you'd like, or hold on to a countertop, or just reach the arms out in front. We're just gonna do a side lunge here, looking to open the inner thigh. Keep the heel planted on both sides and push that knee out over the toes. I like to focus to push that big toe down as well on the side that I'm lunging towards. And if you can't quite feel it, you can try to go a little bit wider. Sometimes that will feel it a little bit more. Good job. So about once more each side, and then we'll walk it in. Fantastic. All right, 20 seconds till we start that last round. I'll go ahead and show that high pull this time. Remember, it's gonna be elbow above the shoulder or just sticking with those deadlifts. All right, everybody, going in 5 and 2, 1, here we go. Breathing. Squeeze those glutes as you stand up, whichever one you're doing. Get those glutes to fire. Nice job. Go, we're over halfway. Good job, Sharon. Nice, Kelly. 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and time. Nice. Flies or pull-aparts next. Got an extra 10 seconds on that one, guys. Lost track of my clock. This is the last round. All right, in position now, standing tall or lying strong. 2, 1, here we go. If you're on your belly, palms up towards the sky. Think about as if you're trying to touch your thumbs together behind your back. Or here, we're pulling them apart. Like we're trying to pull our shoulder blades together in the back. 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. If you're standing here with me and have a band, feel free to go ahead and bring it up to overhead. Use it to open your shoulders. If you don't have a band, once you get to your feet, feel free to swing the arms around. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm sorry. We've got our core left. I'm all right. All right, so feel free to come back to the floor or take a seat in the chair. We've got our tuck-ups, and then we'll be all done with this set. My apologies. I was just ready to get my shoulders to open a little bit more. All right, everyone. 5 seconds till we start. 40 seconds of the lower core, and then we'll be all done. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Done with this circuit. We have one more to go if you're feeling up for one more set. So we can go bent knees here, or with the leg lowering abs, we have the legs straight. And you bring them down as far as you can, keep the low back flat. Just before you feel like that back's gonna arch, you pull them back to the top. You can even do it with like one leg bent, one leg straight. And then switch that, it'll change how much load's on the low back. 10 seconds left. Great job. 2, 1, and all done there. Nice work. Sorry about all the ups and downs. That's part of it though, right? Getting on and off the ground. All right, doing great, everyone. We're gonna do a couple stretches and then we'll move into our last circuit. We're gonna be doing some squatting if you feel up for it, or some overhead work, or a little bit of both. Let's find a wall, a tree, or a doorway. We're gonna open up our chest. Pec stretch. So forearm on the post, doorway, or hand on the wall. If you can block that forearm, it usually helps it open a little bit better. Inside leg steps forward, lean into that stretch, and then turn your torso away. We'll hold about 15 to 20 seconds here. Looking over that opposite shoulder. Breathe. Very good. And go ahead and relax out of that. And switch sides. Don't mind my back to y'all. Step that inside foot forward, lean into it, turn away. Let's hold this one for 20. Good job. Keep breathing, keep rotating into that stretch. 2, 1, and rest. Nice work. If you want to stay there to balance, we're going to go quad stretch next. If you can't quite grab your foot, feel free to repeat that stagger stance stretch we did. Otherwise, grab the foot, pull the heel towards the glute to stretch out the quads. Nice work. Gently driving the leg back. Go ahead and rest and switch. Same thing, other side. Grabbing that foot as well as you can, pulling it back. Let's go 20 seconds here. Good, there's 10 seconds. 2, 1, and rest there. Fantastic. Next, see if you can grab onto something. You're gonna walk back, strong in the back, and then we're just looking to grab on and get a nice long stretch here along the side body and through your lat. And then your opposite arm's gonna reach under the body. Breathe where you feel that tension. And go ahead and stand up in between sides. And then when you're ready, same thing, other side. Grab on, hang back, opposite arm reaches under. And obviously don't hang so far back that you pull over your equipment, but just to get a nice long stretch. This one I feel more in like my lower back area, just above the hip. Sometimes I feel it more like in the back of the shoulder area. So it just depends on where your body's holding that tension. It'll change from day to day, from person to person. Go ahead and come out of that there. Next, we're going to start to warm up the squat. So if you want to use a support to hang on to, we call this like a squat sit, where you hold on and you slowly lower back, kind of waking everything up. Come down as far as you're confident. If you can shift side to side by keeping your heels planted, that's great. And then come up when you're ready, okay? If you don't want to use an assist, then set the feet just about hip width apart, slight toe out. And now we're gonna reach the arms out in front, drive the knees out. Really important to keep those heels planted down. Go between 3 and 5 here. Just coming up as you need, stretching it out, waking everything up. Say hello to your hips, keep everything happy. Hips, ankles, knees, the whole deal. Okay. And then last one before we move into the next workout, we're gonna stretch out the upper body a hair more. We're gonna be doing an overhead press. So we're gonna do our tricep side bend. Reach one arm up high, pull your chin in, bend the elbow, grab that elbow, and we're gonna go 5 times bending towards the side. Breathe in to lengthen, exhale as you stretch. It's one of my favorites. Helps keep my shoulders happy. We don't always realize how much like the muscles through and the fascia and the side of our body will impact what's going on in other areas. So it all interconnects. Very good. Into between sides without slapping your hands into anything. Go ahead and swing the arms out, opening through the chest, alternating which arm comes on top. There you go. Fantastic, and then we'll go triceps on the opposite side. Reach up And also here, we're making sure not to kind of like arch the back. So think rib cage down, bend the elbow, chin in as well as you can. And then when you're ready, bend it out. Strengthen, lengthen and breathe. Exhale and stretch. All right, on this last piece, it'll be a total of 10 minutes. You can join me for all 5 sets, or you can go every other set if you want a little bit more rest. We're gonna be doing either a push press or a full squat to overhead, which we call a thruster. So the push press would be one weight on the shoulder. You just give a little dip in the legs and push to overhead. Dip and drive. If you feel good for that squat, reach one arm out, come down into the squat, drive to overhead. A single arm thruster or a single arm push press. That's our first activity for 30 seconds. You can stay with that same weight or set it down. Second 30 seconds, we're gonna march. It can be a weighted march or unweighted. When that 30 seconds is up, we switch hands. Same thing on the opposite arm, either dip and drive to overhead, or if you feel good for the squat, I encourage you to squat all the way down. As you come up out of the squat, driving to overhead. Then you can either rest for 30, or if you want to be moving consistently for all 10 minutes, you can do another march. Okay? There's no assigned rest in between exercises, so just rest as able and consider that march like your active recovery and put your focus on the overhead work. Okay? So 2 minutes each round, 30-second intervals. If you want to go first round work, second round rest, and you could work for 2 and rest for 2 and do a total of 3, or join us for all 5. Questions on that? All right, if you all are ready, we'll go in 15 seconds, starting on that left arm. I'm gonna show the overhead press by itself to start. You're welcome to do those squats from round 1 if you'd like. And here we go. Just a little quarter dip and drive. Or you can just stand tall. If you don't want to dip it all through the knees, you could just do a strict press where you're just standing and pushing high. There you go, Shirley, perfect. Yep, just push it as high as you can. Yep. Very good, everybody. 10 seconds left. After that 10 seconds, we'll move into the march. You can still hold your weight or you can set it down. 2, 1, and here's our 30 seconds of marching. You rest when you need to. If you feel good to move, then just keep moving with us. Nice work. As you're marching, the knees obviously are driving up. Also pick up your feet as well, like lift those toes. All right, 5 seconds. Let's go ahead and get into position on that right arm. Either full squat or little dip and drive. Here we go. Right side, pushing high to overhead. Breathe. Good, Jean. There you go, Shirley. Great overhead position, Kelly. Good, 10 seconds left. And 2, 1, and either rest or second round of marching. Completely up to you. Feel free to rest this round if you'd like. This is the end of round 1. All right, I'm gonna be doing the full squat to overhead for the rest of the rounds, but feel free to stick with that standing position that we just did. 10 seconds, and we're back on that left arm for set 2. If you're doing the squat, feet just outside the hips, slight toe out, and here we go. Sinking back, driving tall. Nice work. I use the opposite arm to kind of reach out as a counterbalance as I sink into that squat. Very good. Heels planted, chest tall. Breathe. Good job. 3, 2, 1, and marching out. Knees up, feet up. If you haven't smiled yet this hour, put a smile on your face just for fun. All right, everybody, getting ready for that right arm. This will be the second set of round 2. 2, 1, and here we go. Those of you taking this round off, we've got 1 minute till we start round 3. Chest tall, eyes straight ahead. Great work. There you go, good. Push that shoulder high, nice and stable. Good, rest or march out the end of round 2. Fantastic, 2 down, 3 to go. You took that last round off. If you want to join us at the start of round 3, we're going to be on our left arm in 15 seconds. All right. Left arm, either strict press or with the squat. 2, 1, and here we go. Push high to overhead. Yep. Thumb towards the collarbone when you bring it down. Like try to keep that elbow pushing forward. There we go. Good. Nice work, everybody. Fantastic. And 2, 1, and march. Everybody now. There you go, good. Knees high, toes up. Keep your breathing consistent. Ten seconds. I'm going to show this round how you can squat to the chair as well. So if your squat isn't confident, you can go to a chair. 2, 1, right arm into round 3. So we can sit here, stand and push to overhead. Sit back, stand and push. Either way. Helps control the range of that squat if you don't feel comfortable without something behind you, and using the hips a little bit. Good, 10 seconds. This is the end of round 3. 1 more march or take that set off. 2, 1, and either rest or march. I'm gonna take a rest this set. Nice job, everybody. We're over halfway. Yay. All right, round 4 coming up. 10 seconds. Feet about hip width apart, chest nice and tall. Left arm, 2, 1, here we go. Nice job. Good, and take your time in that overhead position. Make sure you push as high as you can. Make the most of it. You really want to train the end ranges. That's where you want to build that strength. Injuries tend to happen at the end range. So the stronger you are through the range of motion, the less likely that you'll incur injuries. Awesome, marching it out, everybody together. Middle of round 4. Everybody's breathing a little bit harder now. 10 seconds, just under, until we go into that right arm. Set the feet in good position. And begin when you're ready. Next time we're on this side, we'll be into our last part of the workout. Fatigue will be starting to set in, so keep your focus on the movement. Especially if you're doing those squats, use your core, control into the bottom. Don't just drop down there. 2, 1, rest or march. Up to you. Into round 4. 30 seconds till we start the final 5th round. Good stuff. All right, here we go in that last round. Left arm and begin. If you're feeling good and want to move a little faster, finish strong, or just try to be consistent. Consistency is what we really want to shoot for here. Moving our body in a way that we can come back the next session and do it again. We don't want you to get overly sore from these sessions, just enough to know you did something. 2, 1, and march. Good work. All right, final set of overhead work, and then we'll have a final set of marching, and that will complete our session, minus the cool down stretches. Right arm, 2, 1, and finish strong. Good job, chest up, eyes ahead. Breathing through. Good work, 10 seconds. Nice, Jean. There you go, Kelly. And final march. If you've been resting, feel free to join us on this last march with weight or without weight. Almost there, 10 seconds left for our 10-minute circuit here. Good job, all the way through to the finish, and rest. Fantastic, grab some water, everyone. Woo! All right, I'm gonna guide the cool down stretches from a seated position. If you wanna follow along from the floor, you're more than welcome. We're gonna be open up the hips. Actually, before we come on the ground, we'll stretch the upper body a little bit and the hip flexors. So let's go back to that stagger stance position. This time we're gonna go, so if your right foot's back, right hand to the left shoulder, pull that arm down and in. Stretch, just open a little bit in the outer shoulder, and then we'll do our hip pulses and rotate to the opposite leg. Good, and you can either keep your hands there or interlace your hands and reach up high to overhead, and then same idea, or you can keep the hands on the shoulders. This will just help get a little bit more opening through that hip flexor, kind of brings it up into the torso a bit more, reaching over that opposite shoulder. Nice big breath and relax. Switch sides. Opposite side. Hand to the opposite shoulder. We'll start with this one here, kind of pulling the shoulder down and in, and pivot and hinge. Engaging that glute, no pressure in the low back. Either stay here, Frankenstein arms, or interlace the hand, stretch tall, and opening from there. And this time I kind of, instead of rotating so much, I also give a little bit of a lateral flexion or side bend towards that lead leg. Fantastic, shake it out. All right, now we'll either go seated or on the floor, opening up the hips. All right, let's start by pulling the same side leg towards the same side shoulder. Extend the opposite leg out. Rotate that leg ankle around. And switch directions. And switch legs. Same thing, other leg. Up and in, rotate around. And switch directions. Very good. Extend that leg out. Now we're going to go into the glute stretch. So you pull the leg up and across towards the opposite shoulder. And on the ground, it's almost like or seated, you're almost pulling it towards your opposite elbow. Just looking to get a little bit more into the glute. Breathe here. And switch. Same thing other side. Up and in, pulling it across. Kind of tease it up and down, or floss, it might be a better word. Kind of glide it. There you go, glide. Opening through the hip. All right, back to your first leg, figure four next. So work the foot up the thigh as high as you can bring it. If you're seated, sit tall. If you're lying, pull that leg in. So we're gonna sit nice and tall seated here, leaning forward, looking to get a little bit deeper into the hip. Good, let's go another 10 seconds here. And switch sides. Same thing, opposite side, working that foot up. Sit tall and gently leaning forward, like you're seated. Good, another 10 seconds, breathing through it, not overstretching. Should be a relaxed stretch. And come out of that. Fantastic. On your back, two-knee twist or seated. Just kind of twist yourself side to side, looking over one shoulder, and then sit tall, look over the other shoulder. Let's go 2 to 3 times each side, holding between 5 and 10 seconds each side. I got the handles on my chair, so I kind of use those handles to push into a little bit, or if you have the back of the chair to push into, it just helps give you a little bit more rotation. Spinal twists are really good for our organs as well. Helps keep all that, kind of twist all the organs up in your belly. It helps with the lymph flow and blood flow. Bowel movements. We all want to keep that flowing. Very good, everybody. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop the recording. Keep yourself stretched out, stay hydrated, and thanks for showing up and taking care of yourself. Hope to see you next time.